The greatest racing heroes and heroines of the sport of kings. Racing heroes, Redrum. The greatest racing heroes and heroines of the sport of kings. Racing heroes, Redrum. If you've only experienced North American thoroughbred racing, then you've never witnessed a steeplechase race. In the UK and Ireland, thoroughbred horses race on the flats as well as on the steeplechase course. If you aren't familiar with the Grand National, it's a notoriously difficult race of this style described as the ultimate test of a horse's courage. The Grand National is a national hunt horse race. The steeplechase races are known. It's been held annually at Aintree Racecourse in Liverpool, England since 1839. A handicapped steeplechase over an official distance of about 4 miles and 2.5 furlongs, with horses jumping 30 fences over a course which covers 2 laps of the toughest fences in the sport. It's also the most valuable jump race in Europe, with £1 million purses today. The course over which the race is run features much larger fences, or jumps, than those found on conventional national hunt tracks. These include Becher's Brook, the Chair, and the Canal Turn, to mention just a few which have become famous in their own right. Generally by those who didn't make it. Becher's Brook is a fence that's jumped twice during the race. It's the 6th and 22nd fence the horses encounter. The fence is 5 feet tall, but what makes it difficult is that the landing side is 6 to 10 inches lower than the takeoff side. The drop often catches runners by surprise. Jockeys must sit back in their saddles and use their body weight as ballast to counter the steep drop. It takes its name from Captain Martin Becker, who fell there in the first Grand National and took shelter in the small brook running along the landing side of the fence while the remainder of the field thundered over his head. The Chair is another 5-foot-plus fence, but it's only jumped once in the race. This fence is preceded by a 6-foot-wide ditch which claimed the only human life in the National's history in 1862. The ground on the landing side is 6 inches higher than on the takeoff side, creating the opposite effect to the drop at Becher's. The fence was originally known as the Monument Jump. The Canal Turn is another 5-foot fence, appearing twice in the race as Fence 8 as well as Fence 24, but it's the sharp 90-degree left turn immediately after landing that makes it notable and a potential game-changer in the race. Until you navigate all 30, the finish line is not in sight. Winning the Grand National for any horse and rider is probably the greatest feat of their career. Redrum, born in May of 1965, was an Irish champion steeplechaser like no other. His sire was Coram, and his dam was Mard, which bred him to win at the mile distance, but his unmatched historic 3 wins in the Grand National in 1973, 1974 and 1977 are a record. In addition, he came second in the 2 intervening years, 1975 and 1976. An amazing feat. The 1973 race in which Redrum secured his comeback victory from 30 lengths behind is often considered one of the greatest Grand Nationals in history. Watching him make the jumps and close in on the leader is spectacular. He's also renowned for his jumping ability, having not fallen in 100 races. He started his career running in low-value races as a sprinter. Southport car dealer Ginger McCain bought him for his client Noel Lemaire and famously trained the horse on the sands at Southport, England. Galloping through seawater may have proved highly beneficial to Redrum's hooves. Redrum had pedal osteitis, a debilitating, incurable bone disease in his hoof. He never complained. In his first victory, at the last fence, Crisp was 15 lengths clear of Redrum. Just 2 strides from the finishing post, Redrum caught him in what is often considered the greatest Grand Nationals victory in history. A year later, Redrum retained his title at the National and also followed that with a victory in the Scottish Grand National to remain the only horse to win both in the same season. Redrum is buried at the winning post of the Aintree Racecourse. His epitaph reads, "Respect this place, this hallowed ground. A legend here. His rest has found. His feet would fly. Our spirits soar. He earned our love. Forevermore."